The member from Chatham-Kent Essex.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services. Speaker, the tragic crash that claimed the lives of 3 children and their grandfather in Vaughan is having a deep impact on the brave men and women who answered the call. Ian Park, Deputy Chief for York Region EMS, said that 8 of the 15 paramedics who attended the scene took time off to seek for post-traumatic stress disorder. In his 25-year career, he has never seen a single incident affect so many staff members. He said, and I quote, "When we have an incident like this, when we have so many that are affected, it gives us the opportunity to start talking about it." Well, Mr. Speaker, the opposition wants to talk about extending PTSD coverage for first responders. We must fast-track Bill 2. Speaker, the minister is also the House Leader, and it's his file. Will the minister join the opposition and fast-track the bill and help our heroes with PTSD?
Thank you. Minister of Community Safety and Correctional Services.
Minister of Labour, Speaker.
Minister of Labour.
Thank you, Speaker, and thank you to the honourable member for what is a very, very important question that we take very, very seriously on this House. To summarise my response to you is that I think we can do better than Bill 2. I think the member has brought forward Bill 2 and has started the conversation going. As I uncover more and more and more about this issue in consultation with our frontline workers, paramedics, firefighters, police officers, and those who respond to the front lines, I'm convinced that we must do a combination of what's envisioned in Bill 2 with some improvements to it. I'm also convinced that what we need is a very comprehensive prevention program in this province. I'm committing to bring forward a proposal to this House that I think will meet with the intent of what the sincerity behind your question is.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you very much. Well, we need to see legislation, Mr. Speaker. Deputy Chief Park said, as a profession, paramedics often feel that there's a stigma associated with it. They keep it inside. Part of the reason for this stigma exists is that the government has yet to fully acknowledge the impact of post-traumatic stress disorder. It takes a special person to be a first responder. They're human. Our government must send a clear message to our first responders that PTSD is real, and it doesn't make you less of a person to admit that you need help. Mr. Speaker, we're once again calling on the Minister and House Leader to bring the NDP's bill forward. When can our first responders, our heroes, expect to see it before the House?
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Speaker. Once again, thank you to the honourable member for the question. We all know PTSD is a very serious condition. We're finding more and more about it as we uncover the effects that it has on our frontline workers. What we have done at the Ministry of Labour is we had a roundtable a number of years ago. That was people that work on the front lines, came forward, formed a group, and brought us their best advice. One of the things they told us is you need to get everyone together. You need to bring the best advice in. We had General Romeo Dallaire came and spoke at a summit that was hosted and attended by some members of this House in Toronto not very long ago. As a result of the information we've received to date, we're ready to begin moving on bringing something forward to this House, to get it into this House, to get it introduced to this House, to get it through the committee process. I think what you're going to see introduced by the Minister of Labour speaks directly to the concerns that you're raising and the respect we owe our frontline workers, Speaker.
New question.